A very good morning to our BTV viewers and welcome to our midweek edition of Rise with BTV. My name is Cikizwa Vilakazi and I am back on this beautiful Wednesday morning to help you rise with a smile. Human trafficking is constantly on the rise. Annually, it generates an estimated 258 trillion rands. Over 70% of detected human trafficking victims are women and girls, and roughly 1 in 4 human trafficking victims are children. It is evident that people are in danger. ShanFourie is here from the Rise Up movement in studio with Megan Lane to tell us about their partnership with A21 in a walk for freedom.
Welcome back to Rise with BTV. With me in studio, I've got the beautiful ShanFourie, Mrs. South Africa Finalist Top 30, mother of 3 and 3 dogs, and a beautiful lady. Welcome. Welcome to Rise with BTV.
Thank you so much, Meg. So nice to be back here with you.
So, Shan, today we are talking about A1 Walk. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So, Meg, the A21 Walk is a campaign that's been running for the last 8 years, and this year is the first time it's being run in Ballito. It is a global initiative where 71 countries take part, and we just want to encourage as many Ballito locals, surrounding Ballito, North Coasters, and beyond to come through and join us, because it's a silent demonstration against human trafficking. And I'll be leading the walk. It's going to be 5 kilometers from starting at Concha and ending at Concha. And yeah, we're just so excited to be part of such an incredible international initiative.
So tell me, why is it important for people to actually join you and walk?
So, Megs, it's all about showing up and showing that you care, because being there, even though it's a silent demonstration, is showing that you are part of something, or standing up against something rather. So we're standing up against human trafficking. It is a massive issue, and you know, not even, I mean, it hits me hard because I'm a mom of 3, like you said, and just, I cannot imagine anything worse than one of my children being taken and not knowing what's happened to them. This is what happens to countless mothers, fathers,
Every day.
sisters, every day. And if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. It's a demonstration that will be spoken about, that will raise awareness, that will just create an impact, and therefore show people that we don't accept this. This is not the norm. This is not okay. We're coming together as a nation and we are making a stand. And you never know what ripple effects that will have, just us being together and standing together.
Just showing up, yes. So I know that this is going to be a silent walk. So why do you think this is a silent talk when there needs to be so much awareness? You know, so it's like, while I'm sitting here, I want to scream from the top of my head, listen, world, this is happening. Why do you think it's going to be silent?
Well, silent because the voices of the victims have been silenced. You and I both know how hard it is to be quiet for 5 kilometers.
Yes.
Can you imagine their voices being taken from them for eternity? I mean, I just get goosebumps thinking about it. It's just the most horrific form of act. So yeah, we will be doing 5 kilometers in silence, and the Rise Up movement is leading this initiative. Josh has put so much work in behind the scenes. Speaking of which, can I show everybody?
Yes.
So we have got t-shirts and backpacks, which we will be selling at 250 Rand. They are limited. There's a limited number of these. We're not making a huge amount of profit off this, but what profit will be made will go towards the gender-based violence victims safe house.
Yes.
And yeah, we just would love to see as many people at the walk in these tops as possible, because again, this says stop human trafficking. This is a statement in itself. on top of signs that everyone will be carrying and us being there in mass.
Yes. So is this going to be only women or are men invited too?
Men are absolutely invited.
Okay.
I think men being there is even more impactful, standing alongside women. It's not only women who are affected by human trafficking. Human trafficking takes place for organ harvesting. That's not gender specific, so this impacts everybody. And beyond. I mean, I don't want to get into too much of the gory detail of what goes on in, the dark side of the world, but this is a major problem, Megs. And so men, women, children standing together, doing this 5-kilometer walk in unison will be incredible.
Yes. So for people wanting to do this walk, is there an entry fee?
There's no entry fee for anybody. So you sign up. You can go to the Rise Up Movement website. There's a link, and you can sign up there, and then show up.
So Shan, I know this is going to be a 5-kilometer walk from Concha to Concha. How can you secure the people with knowing that they are safe? I know Media Response is one of the people that will be involved. What are the other companies that will be involved in this?
So Meg's SAPS is involved. We also have all the permits from Quadakuza. They're well aware that this walk is taking place in the vicinity. Our other partners include Mrs. South Africa. They have partnered with us as well as Elemba Chamber of Commerce. So we really believe we're going to be walking in single file. So that in itself, I think, makes a statement. We're walking silently in single file on the 15th of October, 9 a.m. And it's going to be a demonstration, I think, that is just going to affect people's hearts and minds and hopefully just have a lasting effect.
I know with this being a silent walk, people struggle to talk about this. So the only thing they need to do is just show up and walk. And I think it's so beautiful. And I'm probably going to cry the whole 5 kilometers of it. But it's so beautiful. And thank you to you and Josh for doing this. I think it's going to be heartwarming.
I think so too, Megs. I really just want to encourage everybody, please show up, come and join us. It is going to be very likely an emotional day.
Yes.
But if we can tap into a fraction of the emotion of what people who are suffering in our nation and around the globe are going through, then it's done its job. So join us, join the Rise Up movement. Let's get together and show that we are one, and we will fight this.
Yes. Shan, so if people cannot make this walk but really, really, really want to help, how can they do that?
Megs, so ideally, I would love people to join the walk. That is absolutely number one. If people want to help over and above that, we will also happily take donations. There will be Zapper cards on site, as well as just going to the Rise Up Movement website. People can make donations there. I really want to encourage once again people to come through because that's the goal of this.
And can they donate on the day of the walk as well?
They can. They can donate on the day. They can donate beforehand. They can donate afterwards. The best thing to do if you are passionate about human trafficking, gender-based violence, child abuse, is if you have the means to set up a debit order monthly. Everyone thinks, everyone is so cash strapped and it is difficult times, but I think, what can I do with 100 Rand? I've got an extra 100 Rand or 500 Rand at the end of the month, what can I do with it? But if everyone had that mindset and set up a debit order, 100 people doing 100 Rand, 1,000 people doing 100 Rand a month,
it's a huge help.
10,000 people doing 1,000 Rand a month, 100 Rand a month, it grows into something big. And that's what this walk also symbolizes. It's coming together and showing what we can do when we come together.
Yes. And those little bags, are they available on the website? Is it only for the day, or can they buy afterwards? How does it work?
Meg, so the numbers are quite limited on these. So there may be some left over on the day to purchase, but it's more than likely that they will sell out beforehand. You can purchase through contacting the Rise Up movement, and Josh will help with your order.
Thank you so much for all the information, Shan. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Megs.
To the viewers, get in touch with the Rise Up movement and come and join us on this walk. It's going to be heartwarming, like I said. It's probably going to be like nothing else you've ever seen. And remember that we have the backpack and the t-shirt. Join us for this. It's really important for the community to be one.
Wow, listening to that just gave me goosebumps. This definitely is a cause that everyone should get behind. The BTV team will be live streaming this event on the 15th of October, and we really hope to see you all there. For now, we'll be back after the ad breaks. Catherine from Zinge Africa has created her own unique style, very easily identifiable if I must say. Stay tuned as she and Megan Lane speak about her journey and service.
Welcome back. With me in studio, I've got the beautiful, gorgeous Kathy from the Zinge Africa. Kathy, welcome.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
First thing, I'm very curious about the name Zinge Africa. So where did you get that name? Where does it come from?
So Zinge means all about. So I was looking into making things that encompasses all Africa.
Yes.
So I asked my housekeeper at that time, what Zulu word can I use to mean all? And then she came with this name Zinge. So I called my brand Zinge Africa.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm inspired by all African tribes, textile and cultural elements.
Yes.
Yes.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
So did you make this dress yourself?
Yes, I did.
And how long did it take you?
I did together with my wife, because I'm in fashion. It took me maybe 2 weeks, but I wasn't working on it every day. So I was taking about 1 to 2 hours a day to make all that, plus accessories.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So did you make this from extra material? Did you actually go and buy the material? How come? And it's big, you know, it's beautiful, it's bold, it's beautiful, it's out there. So where did you get all this material from? Is it, you know, extra material? Did you go and buy it?
Yeah, no, it's all off-cut from all the fabrics that I'm making. I'm very big in African prints, as you can see.
It's gorgeous.
So I took all the off-cuts that I've been using for, I think, 1 year, and I put them together. It takes a lot of time to stitch them together. That was just the the bottom part of the dress. And then the top part, I decided to use these are the bottom
little
tops
yeah.
from the milk.
So Kathy, even your accessories, you made them yourself as well?
All the accessory. This is from copper. Of course, I've got somebody helping me to cut this shape because I don't have equipment, but this is from old copper, discarded copper, and comes out such a piece. So this is something I love doing.
So how can people reach you when they want to actually buy a dress? Do you take orders?
So most of my dress are ordered. So I don't make dresses to put on the shelf. Most of my dresses are ordered, and the reason I do this is part of my business value is to reduce waste and cut carbon footprints. So I do that by just making sure the dress I'm making is ordered, so it's not going to waste.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and yeah, that's what I do.
So Kathy, what inspired you to start making these dresses?
When I moved, my old brand is inspired by not getting fit for my body. Like when I go to the shop, sometimes the top fits, the bottom doesn't fit.
Yeah.
So when I go shopping, sometimes from all the disappointment, I decided, why don't I just make my own clothes?
Yes.
Because it has been my passion when growing up, because I'm from a huge family. All my sisters were people who were either crocheting or making clothes and doing that. So I learned a bit from every siblings from my family, and I decided to also just try a hard in it. But it's something I love. Yeah, it's something I'm very passionate about.
So at what age would you say you started making these dresses?
Okay, from when I was small, I could restyle my clothes. That's what I can say. But when I moved in here, 2016, it's when I started doing it commercially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So let's say, for instance, you buy something and you don't like it. Do you style it up a little bit?
Yeah, I love doing
A
that.
lot.
It's 80% of my clothes I have restyled. Anything I've bought from the shop, I've restyled.
That's lovely. So
Yes.
you're comfortable in your culture. You make sure you're comfortable in your clothes, in
Yes,
how you
yes,
present
yes,
yourself.
Yes, I'm not more a trendy person, but I like something that is convenient. That's my own preference.
Yes, yes,
You know,
yes.
that's something that is comfortable in me. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I love, so literally your dresses is the way that you express yourself to people.
yes, yes.
That's
yes,
beautiful. I
yes,
love it. And
yes.
even the earrings.
Yeah.
How did you make them?
This is just okay. It's shape that I create, and then out of that shape, it's just a very old wire, and then I wrap all this material on it, and then it become a beautiful piece.
Piece.
Yeah, it's just something I love, like creating things from discarded materials.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Kathy, so I know not long ago you did a trash to fashion show.
Yes.
How was that?
It was something that I didn't. I mean, when I had the first time of competition, I just said yes. I didn't even think twice, because it's something I thought, hey, this I'm going to beat. I mean, I was so sure, like, I'm going to beat this competition. So I really was very enthusiastic.
Did you
and
use
looking
this
for it.
dress?
Yes, this is a dress that I
Yes.
used, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on expressing yourself beautifully, Kathy.
Thank
you know, I wish that it was something everyone could do, and you do it so beautifully. So well done on that.
Thank you so much.
How can people contact you if they want to order a dress?
I'm on e-commerce shop, www.zinge-afrika.co.za, and I'm also working from home in Salt Rock. And now I'm so excited to announce that I have a small shop at Amshlari Old Shopping Mall. It's next to Second and Chance and Lorette Kitchen.
That's
so people can
awesome.
get me there, and
That's
also
awesome.
on my number.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you
that.
so much.
You deserve it.
Yeah, thank
and
you
well
so
done for
much.
all your hard work.
Thank you
It's
so much.
absolutely mind-blowing.
Thank you so much.
Do the viewers get in contact with Kathy from Zinge Africa and order your dress? It's beautiful, it's big, it's bold, and it's beautiful. We'll see you after the ad break.
The passion truly does reflect through her work. I mean, how stunning is that dress that she's wearing? Only pure passion and love can turn trash into glam. Stay tuned for another interview with Megan after the ad break. out credit can be extremely daunting, especially if you don't really know how to navigate through it. Tsheleka Credit visits us once again on Money Talks today to give us some tips on how we can make wiser choices with our money.
Welcome back to Rise with BTV, and in this Money Talk segment, we've got Teresa from Cikizwa Credit. Welcome.
Thanks, Megan.
So before we dig into the interesting stuff, why don't you just introduce yourself for me?
My name's Teresa Gill. I work for Cikizwa Credit, and we offer outsourced staff loans to companies.
That's awesome. So we have talked about various topics about financial health and so on. So let's dig into the why, the importance. You know, why does Cikizwa Credit think it's important for the employer to look after the staff's financial health?
So we believe that outsourcing staff loans is for any forward-thinking business owner. For a business owner to take their employees' financial health seriously adds a lot of benefit to both the employees and the employer. We spend a lot of our time at work, and if your employees are not focused, a lot of the time it's because they are in financial dire straits. Life happens. It's a week before payday, your tire needs replacing, you have children that need to go to the doctor. To fork out that extra 1,000 Rand, 2,000 Rand, our aim is to help the employers make ends meet. And sometimes the business owner doesn't quite have that initial capital outlay or the means on the how, and how do you process an in-house staff loan. And we find that by offering our service directly to the business owner, it really is a simple process, and it's just such an amazing service to have.
So you said that it has both benefits to the employer and to the employee. So what would you say is the benefits for the employer?
So one of the things is that the employee doesn't have to leave their work to go and take out a loan, or they can just go straight to their HR, or they can apply for themselves on our web-based app. But also, if your employees are financially stable, they're going to be more productive at work. They're not going to sit there worrying about everyday stresses. They're not going to sit there worrying about, how am I going to pay this? What am I going to do? Who can I ask to borrow money? Do I approach the unregistered lender at a massive interest rate that's going to get me into more financial debt? This wheel is just going to keep going round and round. We believe that the employees will be more focused at work if they know that their employers are taking care of them, or have this option available to them, that they can have access to a small loan with very good interest rates.
Yes. So for me, I'm also still very young, I don't want too much, debt. So how would you say to a student that it is okay, and it's not as if you're going to lose your car right now because you're taking a loan out? How can you say to a student that this is safe, you'll be okay?
So first of all, make sure you lend through a registered lender, registered with the NCR. And also, make sure that if you're going to lend money, it's just for that specific amount. And for an emergency, lend for need and not for greed. So don't take out a loan if you want to go jolling for the weekend. Take out the loan for something you really need. And make sure that if that amount of money gets you to the end of the month, that you then have the repayments in your budget, because it is very important to keep your payments up to date, to stop that cycle of needing to continually loaning and getting yourself into more debt. It might take long, and know that for 6 months you're going to have 300 Rand to pay your installment. Don't spend it.
Yes.
It's very tough, but it takes self-discipline, and yeah.
Is there anything else that is really important for a student to know before they take out a loan? How are you going to know that they are taking this loan out for something important and not for joining?
So on our app, we do have an affordability check where we ask a few questions. We find out what the financial state is, and there is you have to put a reason for why do you need that loan, and based on what your income is, it is all calculated on that, and it's based on a percentage, and then we give a quotation and you accept it on that.
So it's so convenient that it's actually on an app, you know, because having to ask for money is such a personal thing. I mean, it can get like quite nerve-wracking, and then you don't want to ask, and then you sit with nothing, and it's actually important to take out this loan. So I want to know the why about Tsheleka Credit. Why does Tsheleka Credit exist?
So Tsheleka Finance is our mothership, as we call it, is the original company, and they've been in the microfinance industry for over 20 years, and it's your brick and mortar branch all over KZN where we serve clients, individuals directly. And during COVID, we started to think, how can we remodel our business and to bring our service to the company, to the workers that are working, that can't take off time, or to the employer who has this problem where their staff are constantly approaching them for a salary advance, for whatever the reason is. And so we thought long and hard about it, and we developed this business model. And so we are a department of Tsheleka Finance. We named it Tsheleka Credit, and we have our own app. So we come in, we partner up with businesses, and we make their life a lot easier in terms of administration. All the legal boxes are ticked, and the employee themselves can apply for the loan safely within minutes, and the money is paid the same day, and it's all on our web-based app. So it does take the admin headache away from the employer, and the employer has peace of mind that their staff is taken care of financially.
Yes. So what you do is really amazing. You are helping so many people without even realizing how many people you are helping. And thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your service. So if people want to get a loan, how can they contact you? You said you have an app as well.
We do. So that is part of our website, but the easiest would be just to go to our website, Cikizwa.co.za. There is a form that they can fill in, request a demo, and that's for business owners. So they can fill in the form, we'll contact them back, we'll catch up with them over a cup of coffee and show them in more detail what exactly we do and how we can help turn their business around.
That's amazing. So you also have like this relationship with the business owner. It's not like just, okay, I'm giving you money, you're paying it back. You have a personal relationship with them, which makes it so much better, because I know then that I can trust you.
Exactly, and what we do as well is once a company signed up with us, we don't go, okay, great, you've signed up with us, here you go, here's the directions.
Yes.
We do have wellness days where we come in, and we also focus on financial wellness. So we have a little booklet all about how to save, what does it mean to budget, what does it mean, a need versus agreed, needs versus desires. And so we do try to educate on financial, how to manage your money with Tsheleka Credit.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today, Teresa.
Thank you, Megan.
This was very informative and very interesting. Thank you for sharing your why with me today.
Thank you for having me.
To the viewers, get in contact with Tsheleka Credit to get that loan you desperately need.
Absolutely insightful, especially for us as the youth who are still trying to find our feet in this world. We've got another insightful interview after the break.
Hi, good day, welcome back in the studio. I have Prathisha with me here today, and we're going to have a wonderful conversation around what's the psychology of business and how to apply our minds and our mindset in a different way and how to create different results by doing it that way. Welcome in the studio with me today.
Hi, Anna-May. Thank you for having me. Such an interesting topic and most applicable.
I think it's relevant, right? I think in the past couple of years, we've gone through a transformation, whether we wanted to or not.
No, it
Right,
was
I
like
think-
slap bang on us, right?
I think collectively we've all asked for change, but when it happens, we're like, wait, hang on, put on the
Not
brakes.
ready.
Right, so I want to talk about anxiety, right, and business owners, and you're a business owner yourself, right?
Yes.
So I'm sure you can relate a little bit. I'm a business owner, I can certainly relate, but I want to talk about what does that actually mean to us as individuals in the business, and where it comes from. So can you share with me how you've experienced post-COVID anxiety?
Well, COVID actually took away everything that we took for granted. Everything was taken away from us all around, you know, and including our freedom and how our businesses normally ran. We had to be flexible and we had to adapt, and it brings a lot of overwhelm, a lot
Correct.
of anxiety, a lot of worry, fear of the future. I mean, businesses that were stable now had to like completely transform to make it happen. So yeah, it's a lot of anxiety and a lot of
Yeah.
stress.
I think you used a very key word there today that I want to talk about, and that's called stable. Did you know that our core human needs is love and connection, certainty, variety, and significance? Now, it's an interesting thing as human beings. So COVID gave us what? Love and connection. It also took away love and connection for people who stayed on their own.
Oh, yes.
Right, so core human need was disconnected there. Our significance, if your identity was attached to your business or some element of your life that you can't express now because we're in lockdown, then our significance filter was affected as well.
So whether you're a business owner or a career man or woman, actually, you know,
100%, yeah.
all of a sudden you weren't going to the office anymore.
Those normal conversations, I mean, I know of clients of mine that actually went to the shop every day to buy bread and milk, and they live alone, so I don't know how much bread they ate every day. And they did that really so that they could speak to another human being every day, that they could connect to someone. And the certainty filter is definitely what has caused the anxiety, because we used to look at our businesses and we say, I can bank on this, right? This is my structure. If I'm in the entertainment industry, or let's say the holiday industry or hotel, or you know, that's seasonal, I do well, but in between I need to market for that and cater for that. So you can plan around that because you
Exactly.
know what the pattern is.
Yes.
And whoops, disappeared the pattern, right? So now
Exactly.
it's all of a sudden a lot of anxiety, a lot of overwhelm, because we don't know what the next step is. That unfamiliar, the fear of the unknown, as a lot of
It's
people
like
refer
everything
to it.
became unpredictable, right?
Correct.
You can't really predict what are your trends now.
Correct. So I like to refer to my brother, my accountant, to say, you know, you could look at my financials and go, this month is good for you, we need to plan around this one, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden that meant nothing. With it also the great opportunity to innovate, the great opportunity to get out of our comfort zone and do the stuff that we threatened to do and didn't do because we were too comfortable, right? So how can we actually create some certainty back into our lives? What are we in control over? And I remember having a conversation with one of the local radio stations, and I was at home, obviously. And I live in an area where there's a green belt, so signal is not that great.
Okay.
And the data would just drop every now and again, and I would I'm live on air, and he would come back and go, okay, you're back again, and we would laugh about that. And I would go, how forgiving we became because we had to rely on structures that we didn't have before, right? So
Definitely.
So the anxiety really is as a result of our certainty not being there. So we need to look at how can we create more certainty? What is a sustainable new way of doing business that can replace that old way and give us the same level of certainty that we require for us as human beings to feel grounded, to feel centered, to say, okay, I've got a little bit of control here. I feel like I know where the ship is going and I can steer it.
That was the main thing that was taken away, was our control.
Yeah.
You know, we were not in control of anything. We were given rules and regulations, and you know, everything was out of our control.
Yeah. Or it certainly
And I
felt
don't know
that
about
way.
you, I might be a control freak, but that's scary. For me, that's scary. I like to know what's happening this month and next month, at least on a broader scale, a big picture scale, you know?
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
for me, that terrifies me, not knowing.
And I think you're not the only one. I think there's an element of that for every one of us because it's a core human need. At some level, we want to feel certain. The interesting, funny part about us human beings, the more certainty we have, the more we become stable. Once that box is ticked, we crave variety. We go,
Makes
oh, I
sense.
want to do it differently. What about, and then we get a little bit experimental on what we can change. But as long as the grounding is solid, then I can play around in this not so secure space because I feel stable. And it's because that carpet was lifted underneath, our balance was taken out of our equation, out of our hands, out of our control, as you say. And it literally is, okay, goodness, what do I do now? The one thing we definitely do still have control over is our thoughts and how to manage them. Because the feeling that's being produced is as a result of a thought. And if we take enough time to sit and just reflect and go, okay, all right, now I'm aware of this feeling. What is causing me to feel like this? What are the thoughts going through my mind that is creating this feeling in my body? And how can I flip that script? How can I switch that focus? What can I focus on differently? Although it might be a very different business strategy to what I had in mind, prior to the please sit down and stay at home for 3 weeks, and most people thought, oh, 3-week holiday, I'm in. And then it became a little bit of a longer holiday. We had to go, okay, hang on, wait.
I didn't plan
So-
for this holiday.
Yeah, and this is not the type of holiday I planned for. If I want to go on a 3-month holiday, I want to go somewhere else. I don't want to sit at home necessarily for 3 months. I want to experiment a little bit more and have that variety that we crave as well. So it is looking at doing business differently. It is looking at how can we innovate our businesses in a way that creates a sustainable, certain future.
That sounds amazing.
It
Please
does.
do tell.
And that's what the series is about. I want to unpack different little tips and techniques and tricks that you can consider. It's not necessarily going to work for every industry. I'll keep it as general as possible so that everybody can make it their own depending on what their business industry and what their focus is. But that how can we create those little stepping stones into the future that creates more certainty for us. Yeah? So the series is
like we spoke about sustainability in
about
business.
that,
A
yeah.
lot of people will give up, and you give up because you get scared and you get anxious. We spoke about this. And that's what you plan on telling us more about, How do
Absolutely.
we stay the course?
absolutely,
Because it
absolutely.
does. Business owners when I got into business, it was a huge emotional thing. It
Yes.
is. A lot of staying the course has a lot to do with, can I manage my anxiety? Can I manage my overwhelm and the fear and stuff?
100%.
So I'm looking forward to hearing more.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to having more of these conversations with you. And in the next session, we'll unpack something you've actually already touched on. And that's the reason why we started our businesses in the first place. I'm going to leave a clue word, and it's called passion, but it shows up differently for everybody else. And there's something behind it that is valuable, very simple, and valuable in terms of helping you create the sustainability for your business going forward.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being in the studio with us today, and I look forward to sharing some of those tips and tricks with you as we go forward in the series. Bye-bye now.
This morning, we've had some heartfelt goosebump moments, as well as some well-needed inspirational and insightful moments to get us back in touch with reality. But overall, it's been quite a great moment with our guests and viewers. To the people who put in so much to make this show amazing, our sponsors, Lamantine, The Hair Shack, and Puza Water, thank you so much for your continued support. From myself and the BTV family, goodbye, and we'll see you soon.